Hello, everyone. I'm adding to my plate even more every day. So, this series is actually a leadership skill practice with Gemini 2. This is my prompt. I want to practice leadership skills. Please add and spread leadership codes and create realistic scenarios where I can demonstrate my leadership abilities. For each scenario, provide context challenges and specific leadership decisions I need to make. Once I respond, evaluate my decisions, provide constructive feedback, and suggest improvements. Focus on leadership qualities such as uh, communication, emotional intelligence, decision making, team motivation, conflict resolution, and strategic thinking. Tailor the scenarios to align with the following environments: corporate or startup or remote team, etc. Keep the tone constructive and supportive, emphasizing learning and growth. After each scenario, offer actionable advice and a short reflection exercise to help me consolidate the lesson. Type of leadership role: CEO or team leader. Industry of sector: tech, healthcare, or education, or any specific field. Scenario complexity: intermediate or advanced leadership challenges. So let's go.
Okay, I will act as your leadership coach and create realistic scenarios for you to practice your leadership skills. Let's start with your first scenario. Scenario: type of leadership role: CEO, industry, tech startup. Scenario: complexity, intermediate. Context: you are the CEO of a promising tech startup that has developed a revolutionary AI software for data analysis. The company has grown rapidly, but recently you've started noticing some issues. The development team is consistently missing deadlines, the marketing team seems misaligned with the product vision, and there's a growing tension between departments. There's also a rumor that a key employee is looking to leave, which would be a significant loss to your team. Challenges: 1. Team misalignment. Departments are working in silos, leading to inefficiencies and frustration. 2. Missed deadlines. Product development is not on schedule, jeopardizing upcoming product releases. 3. Morale issues. There's a dip in overall morale and a lack of communication between departments. 4. Key employee retention. The potential loss of a key employee could disrupt the team and affect product development. Specific leadership decisions. As CEO, what steps would you take to address these challenges? Think about the following. 1. How will you improve team communication and alignment? 2. What measures will you take to get the product development back on track? 3. How will you improve the team's morale? 4. What specific actions will you take to retain the key employee? Take your time, analyze the situation, and respond with your planned actions. Once you provide your answer, I will assess your decisions and provide constructive feedback.
Damn, this is so complex, and there are even no text for me. I might not be able to remember all of those, but heck, we will still try it out. I didn't imagine that it would be so difficult like this. Regarding the team communication issues, we will open short meetings on aligning what's the priorities of our overall teams, and also we will list out the things that were ongoing on the different teams to see if they are correct. And also we will make use of software like Slack so that we can all see our progresses on the projects. And for the product development teams, I will try to talk with the owner, the department head of that, and see if there are what difficulties they are having. And for the key employment retention issue, I will speak with the key employee and to know why he is leaving.
Okay, that's a solid initial approach. Let's break down your response and analyze it. Evaluation of your decisions. 1. Improving team communication. Your idea to implement short meetings focused on priorities is excellent. This will help in aligning the team towards the same goal. The use of Slack to show progress updates is also a good approach to enhance transparency. However, consider how these meetings will be structured to ensure they're effective and don't become time sinks. You should also think about establishing clear guidelines for using Slack for project updates so that this tool is not misused. 2. Product development. Talking to the department head to understand their challenges is a good strategy to get the product development back on track. This shows that you acknowledge the problems and are proactive in addressing them. However, you might want to consider including the team in this discussion. Gathering direct input can provide a more comprehensive view and demonstrate your trust in the team. 3. Employee retention. Your approach to talk with the key employee is crucial in order to understand why they are thinking of leaving. However, be prepared to act and be flexible depending on the reasons they give you. You may have to offer them more benefits or create better conditions for them to continue working. Constructive feedback. Proactive approach. Your strategies show a proactive mindset, which is essential for a leader. Communication. The idea of short meetings and using Slack is beneficial to create clear channels of communication. Empathy. Taking the time to understand the challenges of different teams and individuals is a valuable skill to be improved. Missing details. In your answer, you did not talk about how you would work on improving the morale of your team. It's important to remember that this is crucial when the team is facing challenges. Suggestions for improvement. 1. Structured meetings. When implementing short meetings, create a specific agenda and set clear objectives to make them more effective. 2. Team involvement. Involve the team in problem solving by having open forums for discussion. 3. Morale boost. Consider implementing team building activities and recognize accomplishments and hard work to improve overall morale. 4. Retention action plan. Have a plan in place, including a specific budget to offer your key employee benefits or better work conditions if needed. Actionable advice. 1. Start now. Immediately schedule the first round of short alignment meetings. 2. Gather feedback. Talk with the department head, but also meet with the development team to get a clearer picture of the challenges. 3. Action plan. Have a plan in place for how you will act upon the key employees' concerns. 4. Recognition. Acknowledge team wins and contributions openly. Short reflection exercise. 1. Reflect on the importance of clear communication in your plan and think how this could be done better. 2. Consider what additional steps could you take to show your empathy to your employees. 3. Think of how you would implement a team recognition program. Are you ready for the next scenario, or do you want to discuss this one further?
This was more detailed than I expected, and I actually wanted to have practice over the real conversations instead of doing the overall macro thing. So let's request that. Can we have some trials on the conversations that are involved instead of just the macro in the operations?
I understand. You're looking for scenarios that focus on the conversational and interpersonal aspects of leadership rather than just operational decisions. Let's do that. Scenario. Type of leadership role. Team leader. Industry. Healthcare. Scenario complexity. Intermediate. Context. You lead a team of nurses at a busy hospital. Your team has been working long hours, and recently there have been a few misunderstandings between some team members. You've noticed that the team is less collaborative and that there's a palpable sense of frustration among some nurses. One particular situation involves two nurses, Sarah and Emily, who have been working together for years. Sarah is known for being highly efficient, while Emily is praised for her empathy and patient care. Lately, they've been having conflicts about the best approach to patient management. You overheard Sarah expressing her frustration that Emily is too slow, while Emily felt Sarah was rushing and not caring enough. Challenges. 1. Interpersonal conflict. Resolving the specific conflict between Sarah and Emily. 2. Team dynamic. Improving overall collaboration and communication within the team. 3. Morale. Addressing the frustration and creating a more supportive work environment. 4. Balancing efficiency and empathy. Ensuring both efficiency and patient care remain priorities within the team. Specific leadership decisions. 1. How would you approach the conflict between Sarah and Emily? What would your approach be? 2. What steps would you take to improve communication and collaboration among the team as a whole? 3. How would you address the team's overall morale? 4. What measures will you implement to ensure both efficiency and empathy are considered when giving care? Take your time to think about your approach, focusing on the conversational and interpersonal aspects. Once you're ready, tell me how you would handle this situation.
We can actually set the time limits for the conversations with the patients between for the nurses, such as we must get to uh, all the forms completed within 10 minutes, where on the form we will fill in what are the concerns of the patients, what are their current emotions, what they think of the hospital, and also the other important details such as diagnosis and medications like that, so that when the form and the time limit is proposed, and this should solve the efficiency and the empathy question, and also to improve the overall morale between the nurses, we will I will try to give oh, okay, okay. So we'll copy this. You have given me a task where two nurses argue in empathy versus efficiency in treating patients. Morale was low.
Okay, I understand. Let's continue with the scenario you've described, where two nurses are arguing about empathy versus efficiency in patient care, and team morale is low. Here's the scenario. Context. You are the team leader of a nursing unit in a busy hospital. Recently, there has been increased pressure to improve efficiency and reduce patient wait times. This has created tension among your staff, particularly between two experienced nurses, Sarah and Emily. Sarah prioritizes efficiency and believes that following established protocols is crucial to managing a high patient load, while Emily focuses on providing personalized care and believes that empathy is critical to patient well-being. Their conflict is starting to affect the entire team's morale, and some nurses seem hesitant to express their views. Challenge. As their team leader, you must address the conflict between Sarah and Emily while also boosting morale among the rest of the nurses. You need to find a solution that respects the concerns of all sides while ensuring that the team can deliver quality patient care. Specific leadership decisions. 1. How will you approach Sarah and Emily to discuss their conflict? 2. What steps will you take to understand the root cause of their disagreement and find a common ground? 3. How can you make all the nurses express their views and address the low team morale in the process? 4. How will you balance the need for efficiency with the value of patient-centered care? Take your time to consider these points and let me know how you would proceed.
To better balance the empathy and efficiency, I think we will impose a time limit on the conversation between nurse and the patient to around 10 minutes to 15 minutes per patient. And we will have a form that will need the nurse to fill out what are the main concerns of the patient, what are the main emotions, what do they think about the hospital, along with the usual details like diagnosis and medications they need. And we need to fill out the form for every patient so that we take care of the empathy. And as well at the same time, we will have some uh, uh, speaking techniques such as uh, we will straightly ask the questions that I have mentioned instead of waiting the patient to rant on, so that we can have better efficiency. And also, to tackle the low morale situation, I will give a speech where both the empathy and efficiency are actually uh, just a representation of giving quality care to all the patients in the line, so that they all both can reconcile each other, and also that we will do some team building activities at holiday time, and I will also try organize a time for a short meeting to ask the other nurses on the opinion as well. We will also have lunches together. Maybe there is a time for the short meeting as well.
Okay, I appreciate your detailed approach. Good that you're thinking about specific steps and ways to balance empathy and efficiency. Let's break down your ideas and analyze them. Evaluation of your decisions. 1. Imposing time limits. Setting time limits on patient conversations could improve efficiency, but it could also make nurses feel like they're being pressured and not truly listening to the patient. Some patients might need more time to express themselves fully. This needs to be monitored carefully. 2. Patient forms. Having a detailed form is a good way to standardize the information you receive. It helps ensure that all relevant aspects of the patient's experience are covered. It also helps the team to better understand what each patient needs. 3. Speaking techniques. Asking direct questions and guiding the conversation can be helpful for efficiency. It's useful to avoid letting the patient ramble for too long, but you should be sure to balance it with enough space for patients to share concerns that are important to them. 4. Speech on empathy and efficiency. This could be an effective way to communicate the message that both empathy and efficiency are important. You can present these as complementary instead of contradictory goals, which is a good way to frame them. 5. Team building activities and group lunches. These ideas can definitely boost morale and foster a better team spirit, which are all important for conflict resolution. 6. Short meetings with all nurses. Gathering input from all team members is very valuable for the collective success of the team. It can give you a broader view of issues and make them feel heard. Constructive feedback and improvements. 1. Time limits. Instead of implementing a strict time limit, try creating a target or a suggested time frame, but be sure to allow for flexibility when needed. This approach helps manage efficiency without undermining empathy. You should also emphasize that the nurses should spend more time if a patient needs more attention for some reason. 2. Patient forms. Try to ensure the forms are not too cumbersome or lengthy for both patients and staff. You don't want them to become a distraction. They should be an aid. Also, make sure that they are simple to complete. 3. Speaking techniques. Emphasize active listening to patients. This can make the patients feel heard, even in a short time, and make the nurses feel more comfortable. If they feel more comfortable, they will also perform better. 4. Team meetings. You should definitely hold regular meetings, but also make them engaging, where all nurses can contribute to solutions, so they feel a sense of ownership. Actionable advice and reflection exercise. Actionable advice. Before implementing the time limit and the new form, you should definitely hold a meeting with Sarah and Emily, as well as the other nurses, and address their conflict and include them in developing these plans. Reflection exercise. Take a moment to think about how you felt while proposing these solutions. Did you feel confident, unsure, or perhaps a bit stressed? How could you better prepare for such discussions in the future? Do you want to adjust your plan based on this feedback, or are you ready for the next step?
What is the next step?
Okay, the next step is to put your plan into action. Now that you have a detailed plan, it's time to implement it. First, you will need to have a meeting with Sarah and Emily to address the conflict. Your task. 1. Schedule a meeting with Sarah and Emily. Prepare for the discussion by outlining the main points you want to cover. These would include acknowledging the current tensions, understanding their perspectives, and setting goals for conflict resolution. 2. Initiate the meeting. When you meet them, aim to create a safe and open environment for them to speak honestly. 3. Facilitate the discussion. Use active listening skills to ensure that you fully understand the perspectives of Sarah and Emily. Encourage them to listen to each other. 4. Collaborative solution. Guide the discussion towards finding common ground and encourage them to collaborate on a solution that integrates empathy and efficiency. Be sure to include them in the process of developing the time limits and patient forms. Leadership decisions to make during the meeting. How will you initiate the conversation to set a positive and collaborative tone? How will you ensure both Sarah and Emily feel that their perspectives are valued? How will you steer the discussion toward finding common ground and shared goals? How will you handle any resistance or defensiveness from either party? Take the time you need to prepare what you will say and how you will manage the conversation. Then let me know what you will do and how the meeting will go.
I will ground them that the meeting is open and confidential between us, and before we take it public to the other nurses as well. And I will mention that we are both for the patient's common good as terms of efficiency and also empathy. Both are needed in our practices, and also that I will try to be the one that is proposing the solutions, and I will also ask them if they have any solutions so that we can discuss them together, and to involve both in rational discussions.
That's a great start. You're setting a solid foundation for a productive conversation. Here's how I would evaluate your approach. Evaluation 1. Confidentiality. Establishing confidentiality is a very smart move. This can make Sarah and Emily feel safe to share their honest thoughts and concerns without worrying about judgment or negative consequences. 2. Common goal. Reminding them of your shared goal, the patient's well being, is crucial. This emphasizes that you're all on the same team, working toward the same aim. It helps to reframe the conflict as a disagreement on how to best achieve the goal, and not as a difference in core values. 3. Solution oriented approach. Your plan to propose solutions while also inviting input from them is a great strategy. This combination makes the process more collaborative, so everyone has a voice and feels valued. 4. Rational discussions. Emphasizing rational discussions will help to move away from emotional and unhelpful reactions and steer the conversation towards finding practical solutions. Improvements and considerations. 1. Framing the discussion. While you're aiming for rational discussions, acknowledge the emotions that might be present. Start by acknowledging that you understand the tension and that this is a valuable opportunity to improve the way they work together. 2. Active listening. When you mention that you will be proposing solutions, also be sure to highlight that you will be very receptive to theirs and that you want to incorporate everyone's ideas. If someone is not feeling heard, they may not contribute further. Actionable advice and reflection exercise. Actionable advice. Prepare a few possible solutions in advance to make the process go more smoothly. However, make sure you go in with the mindset that you may need to adjust them based on what Sarah and Emily say. Reflection exercise. Reflect on how you feel about acting as a mediator in this meeting. Do you feel confident in your role? What kind of challenges do you anticipate? Now that you've laid the groundwork for the meeting, are you ready to start the discussion with Sarah and Emily? It sounds like you've given a lot of thought to addressing the conflict between Sarah and Emily and to how to improve team morale. Your approach demonstrates a good grasp of several important leadership qualities. Your plan to address both empathy and efficiency is well structured. By framing them as complementary instead of contradictory goals, you're setting the stage for a more positive and collaborative environment. Your suggestions of team building activities and group lunches are also great ideas to boost morale and build camaraderie among the nurses. Holding a meeting with Sarah, Emily, and the rest of the nurses shows a commitment to transparency and inclusivity, which is also great. Now let's move into a more specific scenario. We will use the meeting you've prepared as the starting point, focusing on the mediation aspect of the discussion. In this scenario, you are now in the meeting with Sarah and Emily, who still have very different opinions about patient care. Sarah argues for taking the time to get to know each patient and treat them as individuals, while Emily thinks the focus should be on processing patients quickly so that more people can be treated, especially during busy shifts. Your challenge now is to manage the conversation, acknowledge both perspectives, and guide them towards a solution that respects both empathy and efficiency. What specific actions would you take and what questions would you ask to facilitate this discussion?
Actually, I think we have covered the most parts of this simulation. I think it has already mentioned the things that I should mention in the talk. Mm. So I think it is actually a beginner type of complexity, and I might not want to list all the skills related to leadership so that uh, Gemini can give better scenarios to me next time. Okay, so I think it is the end of this practice, and hope you can also try this out sometime in the future because Gemini is free. And thanks for listening to this episode, and see you again in the next section. Goodbye.